I'm Fredrik Leilani, and I'm the filmmaker.
And I'm Leilani Farha, and I'm the advocate.
And this is Pushback Talks Summer Special, where we play with words, me and Leilani, and we call it Word Food. Leilani, are you ready?
I feel like I'm on a game show.
You are.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Fredrik, your word is dancing.
Dancing in the dark. Isn't it? Dancing in the dark. Dancing. When I was young, it was like an era of a lot of like traditional jazz. So we danced a lot. And I remember a party, maybe I was only 18. I danced so much and my socks were like, there was nothing left by the feet. I can still remember that feeling of very fun dancing, and I'm trying to keep it up. But I must admit that I'm very much that kind of dancer who like to keep my partner close, to move together, and so this kind of rave dance where you dance with yourself, it hasn't been my thing really.
Not your jam.
Not totally, but I can also go crazy dancing.
Right.
So dance is important.
Yeah,
and,
it's my total happy place is dancing. I've used it for many reasons to lift the mood.
And then as I've been a lot in Latin America, and you go to Mexico City or to many other cities around Mexico or Chile or wherever you go, people gather on the squares. The old colonial cities still have the Spanish structure of having a square.
Yes. Yes.
It's not a strip. It's actually a place built for people to gather.
Yes. So lovely.
In many countries, they also use that square to dance. Mm-hmm. So somebody brings a speaker and they dance. Mm-hmm. So in Argentina, it could be tango. But also here in Malmö, by the sea, there are people dancing tango or salsa by the sea.
So nice.
And it's so beautiful just to see people dance. Mm-hmm. It's the beauty of human connections. It's everything what we love with humanity. You see when people dance.
Absolutely.
It's like the total opposite. I mean, when you see Trump make dance moves, it's the opposite of love in dancing.
Absolutely. I remember one of the first city visits I did when I was the UN Special Rapporteur on housing. I went to Detroit, and I was investigating with the Special Rapporteur on the right to water. The city was shutting off people's water. And Detroit is made up of a lot of African-American families, many of them very poor, and they were living with no water in their homes. And it was a devastating visit, very bleak, horrible circumstances that people were living in. And at the end of this visit, it was several days, they took us to a community center where they were eating like fried chicken and all sorts of foods, potato salads. And Detroit, right? It's like the city of music. They put on this music and everyone started to dance. And they invited me and the other special rapporteur up to dance. And we didn't know, it was like synchronized dancing. They were doing these like full-on real dances. And we didn't know what we were doing, but they had a way of shadowing you and whispering in your ear, turn left, move your foot right. It was amazing. So we could actually join the dancing. It was one of the most kind of jubilant moments after such heartache, seeing such heartache. And then for the whole community to come together, it was amazing.
Yeah, I actually think that the dancing is also one of these things that can change your mood, from being depressed and everything is shit. And then suddenly you start to move your ass and it works.
True.
You can see it's like the adrenaline coming in. Something happens that makes you smile suddenly.
Absolutely.
So people out there, let's dance this summer.
Get up and dance.
And dance against fascism and
Exactly.
dance against stupidity, dance against horror, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess that's what we're going to do this summer. But Leilani, it's my time to give you a word or a few words.
Uh-oh.
From dance to
Yeah.
supply chain.
Oh, my God. Wow. Wow. Well, everyone should listen to this amazing podcast we did with Peter S. Goodman, the global economic correspondent for the New York Times. He's written an amazing book about supply chains. To be honest, I when I hear those words, supply chain, I feel really depressed. Those are like boring words to me, supply chain. But then you read Peter S. Goodman's book and it's like fascinating. So when I think about supply chains, I think first and foremost about COVID, another very boring word, a very depressing time in the world history, when supply chains were completely disrupted and shelves started to become bare, and we all had to learn why that is. And there's this concept now that most businesses only, what's that? Oh, I can't even remember. There's a name for it, but where businesses only stock what they think they can sell quickly and immediately. And because of that, and because of all the slowdown with supply chain, we ended up with bare shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember a lot.
Really? I thought that was pretty lame in my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
we will ask Peter to come in and correct.
yeah, that's right. Exactly. But also, I mean, we're at a time right now where all this tariff talk is happening, and President Trump is pushing back against globalization and the way in which the world's economies have been working. And he's not recognizing that we have created a world economy based on these supply chains. And if you start putting all these tariffs, then it completely disrupts all of the way in which the world's economy works and individual countries' economies work.
But of course, we've been talking before about, the importance of buying local and to let the money circulate in your community.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't go and have coffee at the Starbucks. You should go to a locally owned coffee shop. I mean, I think it's always important to remember. Mm-hmm. At the same time, people around the world who are buying our goods also have the right to produce stuff that we buy. So it's there is a balance, and if that should work, we need, of course, fair trade, a fair trade system, and we also need a fair supply chain. Because what Peter shows us in his book is that the big players are now controlling the shipping, and they're also the small business, they don't get access to the containers anymore. So it is, again, a world where the big guys are taking all the benefits of the system. And so a fair supply chain is also something that governments around the world should work for. Mm-hmm. And then you need to take down the monopolies and break down the monopolies who are now one big Danish company, Maersk, some Chinese, some Americans. And it's very few companies who dominate the whole shipping industry around the world. Yeah. And they're also not paying the sailors, they're not paying the truck drivers. So it's like a way of, that's what Peter shows very clearly in his book, that everybody who is working in the supply chain have much worse conditions now than it was 20, 30 years ago. Yeah. A huge difference. So it's also where the shippers, I mean, these companies make more money than ever, but their workers make less money than ever. So it's, again, a reflection on where we all have landed. So there's a lot to do.
You know a lot about supply chains, Fredrik. You're a good student, too.
I read a freaking book, and I listened to the podcast. Exactly. Listen to the podcast, please.
Exactly. And Peter's book, which I actually can't remember the title of,
How the world ran out of everything.
Oh, how the world ran out of everything. There we go. So good at giving examples, and he follows this kind of small business owner who has everything made in China, some kind of, I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of toy that he and his wife, I think, had invented, and just the toils and tribulations of trying to get this toy to market in time for Christmas, which would be his biggest time to sell this product. And really interesting. And I will just say one more thing. I said that I find supply chain, those words, boring. But when you really start thinking about the fact that so many of the things that we consume and use on a daily basis come from these shipping containers, never dawns on me. So it's pretty interesting. Supply chains.
It is interesting.
The world order.
It's a worldly world food we are doing here, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Leilani. Talk next week.
We will.
Choo-hoo.
Bye. So, if you like our podcast, you have to let us know. Please send us comments, rate us. I think that helps promote the podcast. Tell your friends about us. We need more listeners, and we need a little bit of love too. Love can come in the form of money. If you want to give us a little money every month, you can go to patreon.com, look for Pushback Talks. Every euro, every pound, every dollar buys Fredrik a cortado. No, it helps us produce the podcast. Otherwise,
That's great.
We do it for free.
Good. See you soon.
Bye, Fredrik.
Bye.
Pushback Talks is produced by WG Film. To support the podcast, become a patron by going to patreon.com/pushbacktalks. Follow us on social media at make_the_shift and push_the_film. Or check out our websites, maketheshift.org, pushthefilm.com, or breakingsocialfilm.com.